Let me tell you, friends, I have just come from a meeting with the ambassador of the US. You know, and she came to tell me what you already know, that the president of the US has invited the president of Kenya for a state visit, one of a kind. In 20 years, no African president has had a state visit in the US.
So President Joe Biden invited William Ruto for a state visit on May 23rd. What exactly is the secret mission between the US President Joe Biden and President William Samoei Arap Ruto? What do you think is their secret mission? Because their very close relationship is causing mixed reactions, not in Kenya alone, but also across Africa. In Kenya, for example, Raila Odinga and his supporters, his allies, are not comfortable, but they are also really concerned about William Ruto and President Joe Biden, and especially since the US ambassador to Kenya by the name Meg Whiteman announced to the public that the previous 2022 general elections was free and fair in the history of the Republic of Kenya. That statement alone made Raila Odinga very, very angry.
Tell the rogue ambassador, Kenya is not United States. Kenya is not a colony of United States. Keep your mouth shut when you hear. Otherwise, you will call for your recall back to your country. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
You know, Raila Odinga has never ever accepted the reality of losing elections. He lost to the retired president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta 3 times, but Raila Odinga did not accept. Raila Odinga lost the previous 2022 general elections to William Ruto, but he has never accepted. And if you ask any of Raila Odinga's supporters, they will tell you that Raila Odinga did not lose the previous elections because of living in denial. Also, some Kenyans are really concerned about President Joe Biden and William Ruto. They are saying that Joe Biden is using President William Ruto to achieve a certain objective in Kenya. Is that true? Now, I want to give you the factual details about William Ruto and Joe Biden. But before we go straight into the details, just a quick reminder that if you are listening to me up to this point and you haven't subscribed, I'm requesting you to please just take a second or two and subscribe to this channel. You can also give this video a like. Just press the thumbs up button down below so that YouTube can automatically recommend this channel and this video in particular to reach out to others. And to my returning subscribers, I also want to appreciate you for your support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is currently. So President Joe Biden invited William Ruto for a state visit on May 23rd. And you have heard very well from William Ruto that there is no president here in Africa who has ever been invited to the US for a state visit. So I want us to find out what exactly is the real mission behind all this. What exactly is the real reasons behind all this, and why Joe Biden wants to see William Samoei Arap Ruto? Because there is a strange letter, a letter from the White House, which has been issued through the United States Foreign Affairs Department. That letter is a formal request to President William Ruto to address the United States Congress. or United States Parliament during his official visit. Let me just read for you this letter which says, "We are writing to respectfully request that you extend a formal invitation to the President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, to address a joint session of Congress on his official visit to the US." Why do you think President Biden wants William Ruto to address the United States Parliament? And what exactly does this mean to William Ruto? Number one, it sends a valuable signal to the people of Kenya, which means that William Ruto being invited to the US is very, very special. Remember that William Ruto will be the first Kenyan head of state to address the joint session. There is no other president here in Kenya who has ever gotten that opportunity. And also, in the entire Africa, only President of Liberia who has had that opportunity before to address the United States Congress 18 years ago. So William Ruto addressing the US Parliament is very, very special. So why exactly do you think President Joe Biden invited William Ruto to the US? I personally believe that there are three very important reasons. Number one, President Joe Biden wants to win more African heads of state. And President William Ruto is just the beginning. Why am I saying this? Because majority of African countries currently, they are no longer interested in the US. They are working very closely with Russia. African countries are working very closely with China. They are working with India and also Brazil. It is called BRICS, BRICS. So President Joe Biden must do something to win more African countries like before. Number two, I personally believe that they want to discuss the mission to Haiti. Did the mission to Haiti stop? Of course, yes. It became very complicated immediately after the official resignation of the Haitian Prime Minister. So that is also what they are going to discuss. And finally, lastly, according to President Biden, he is inviting William Ruto in order to strengthen Kenyan-US ties. Because the former President Uhuru Kenyatta, for example, was not working with United States. He was working with China. So President Biden is also seeing an opportunity in William Samoei Arap Ruto's leadership. That is it. I don't know what you think. I would also want to know your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section down below. Let me see you again in my next video analysis. My name is Jason. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Bye bye.